This is not a guy that wants to get fired. This is not a guy that's checked out. This is a guy that is emotionally invested in the success of this team. Unlike Orlovsky or other people, he hasn't already got a job in another market. He desperately wants. He doesn't want to leave.
Right.
He's on a staff where he's been entrenched for 30 years. He's got his family here. His daughter coaches here. His kids are on the staff. Like, this is not something he wants to be fired from.
And you could see it.
But for those who've been asking why Robert Kraft isn't pissed off, or is Robert Kraft angry, have they had enough? If you believe that he was, and if you believe that he was somebody who was leaning toward this being the last season of Bill Belichick, does last night change your mind? If you're Robert Kraft, does last night change your mind?
I think what last night does.
No, it doesn't, Curtis.
Of course not.
No, but I think what last night does, though, is we held on to Mac too long.
Right.
If we would have put Zappe in earlier, we might be 6-6. We might be in the mix. I think that's.
I love how. There have been many who have been saying all year long, this roster is junk, this team is horrible.
Right.
And there's so many issues with the talent on this football team. And then here you are this morning, you and Scheim and Courtney, with a victory lap and saying that, geez, if we just put Bailey Zappe in earlier, this would be a playoff.
Yeah, but
team right now.
I'm not saying he's physically or his skills are far superior than Mac. I'm just saying Zappe, when he's in there, he buys in more than what Mac does, just based on watching the game.
I can't believe it. There are a lot of people texting in on the Subaru of New England text line, which is 37937. Find your authorized Subaru retailer at SubaruofNewEngland.com, who agree with you guys. Like, look at text from my adopted home continent of Maine. Zappe gave them new swag.
Oh, the irony.
But he just doesn't. He look not skill wise. Not I'm saying skill wise, but doesn't he just look more? Courtney, I think you brought this up. Emotionally
regulated.
Yeah, not all over the place.
I want the same. You always call for the same energy.
Mm-hmm.
I want the same energy because you guys told me last week the reason that Bailey Zappe was the guy and Mac Jones wasn't was because of no turnovers.
Right. You keep citing that. He had 3 touchdown passes. If you have more touchdown passes than turnovers, it's a successful day.
And the turnover that he had,
that wasn't him forcing, and that wasn't like him forcing it into an area.
And it wasn't some errant throw that he airmailed over Hunter Henry's head either.
Yeah,
I think he was, and that's why I would love to ask him. I think he was actually throwing it to Zeke, and Zeke ducked, and that's when Juju it jumped on him. And it got tipped up in the air.
If you're going to argue anything, though, it would be the one that didn't end up being a turnover.
The one on the sideline.
On the sideline because he threw behind, I think it was Henry again.
And there was another bad throw early in the game where Hunter Henry was wide open. Kirk Herbstreit did a replay showing where I think he threw it to Juju, and it was almost intercepted on a third down.
That was down the sideline, right?
Right. No. Hunter Henry was open, and then over his head was Juju.
Yes.
Now, listen, I will acknowledge that Bailey Zappe did the impossible last night, and he made Juju Smith-Schuster look good.
Right.
Does Mac Jones complete? Does Mac Jones complete any of those 3 touchdown passes?
No, not this year.
Probably not.
The first one I'll give because that was just
Mac Jones. Courtney brought up earlier. Looked good in the win over Buffalo. He did.
Yeah, what was that, 5 weeks ago?
Yeah. But Curtis asked that,
the first touchdown was just basically throwing it to Zeke in the flat.
The one to Henry, though.
Yeah.
The one to Henry, though, that Scheim texted was like, Mac has never made a throw like that.
Both of them to Henry were pretty good, but the first one, to me, it's not about the throws. It's more about he just has a little bit, not much better, but a little bit more feel in the pocket.
Oh, my God, the way he climbs a pocket, I haven't seen that since Tom Brady in 2019. Mac Jones can't even climb a seafood tower. It is remarkable.
Now you're turning into Tommy Heinsohn.
You stop. It's remarkable. You sound like an idiot,
Mac Jones can't climb a pocket. What do you want from me?
He can't climb a pocket.
But do you think, Greg,
the guy's not going to have an NFL job ever again? Yes, he can't climb a pocket.
So you have now declared this morning that Bailey Zappe is going to be a starter somewhere next season,
Bailey
right?
Zappe's going to be the
sound like.
No, I literally said on the air, Bailey Zappe will be the backup for Drake May next year, and Mac Jones will be doing real estate in 2 years.
But Greg, the bigger
Toledo sells real estate. She does a great job.
It's a great career.
You asked the question of what is Robert, or last night did Robert's mind change? And I said, I think
he was leaning toward, a classy uncoupling, whatever, graceful uncoupling with Bill.
Right.
Yes.
But I think there's a conversation between Bill and Robert now going, maybe we made the wrong decision by holding on to Mac too long. And not that Zappe's better, but one guy just has a kind of a better buy-in, and they're looking at it like, all right, our struggles this year were because of Mac's regression.
It's not just the buy-in for Zappe, though. He has a better presence than Mac does out there. Like, I think he's
in a better headspace.
A better headspace, but I think it's almost disrespectful to Zappe to be like, well, he buys in, he does whatever the coaches want, so that's why he's out there. He's the reason. He's better out there than Mac Jones.
Well, he's buying in. Right? If the coaches say, hey, listen, don't force anything.
Yeah.
We got to lead. If there's nothing there, take the sack, we'll punt the football, and we'll play defense.
And Wiggy, I think that's exactly why all those people who said it was the organization's fault that Mac Jones was failing owes us all apologies.
Here we go again.
Because again, if Mac Jones actually listened to his coaches a little bit more and bought in to what the organization was trying to preach a little bit, he might have been better. Instead, he thought he was always right. He thought he knew what was better for himself and the offense, when in reality, he probably didn't, because he stinks.
Do you think they have a conversation?
I love this Shime. I find
oh God, I can't wait until 10 a.m. when Gresh comes on these airwaves, and he's going to come up with some excuse once again that Bill Belichick ruined Mac Jones. I'm telling you, it was all Bill Belichick's fault. Mac can still play. He could start at quarterback for like any other team in football.
The issue here, Greg, is not the hyperbolic nature with which Shime is discussing Mac versus Bailey. It's the fact that people who supported Mac, just to name them, Andy Gresh, who were so pompous in their dismissal of the potential of there being a quarterback controversy of any kind. They said it's a different offense. They don't even let him throw the ball down the field. And it was this out-of-hand mocking that there was no opportunity for the fact to exist that Bailey could be better than Mac. And he is. For this team, at this time, Bailey is better than Mac. In the last 17 games, Mac is 4-13 as a starter. Bailey Zappe started 4 games the last 2 seasons. He's 3-1.
Every week, all we got crammed down our throats was, well, there's nobody on this team that gives you a better chance to win than Mac Jones. And the first time, like the second game, Bailey Zappe starts. The second game, he wins immediately. And he throws 3 touchdowns in the first half against the 5th best defense in all of football. Mm-hmm. Like, it's so ridiculous. So the lengths that people have gone to defend Mac Jones for no reason, no good reason whatsoever.
So why didn't Bill go to him earlier this season then?
I don't know.
I think it was a combination of. I honestly.
You think it was all Robert Kraft?
No. I think it was more of a majority of Kraft.
See you later today.
But I also think Bill felt like Mac did give them the best chance of winning. But I think it got to a point where Bill and Billy O'Brien and Robert kind of got to the point, because we heard Billy O'Brien say that it could start with Robert, where they finally got to the point and said, hey, listen, let's give Zappe a chance, because Mac isn't allowing us to win football games.
Okay,
it
but
can't
Bill
get
O'Brien,
worse.
it wasn't that long ago, maybe a week, that Bill O'Brien said, essentially, don't point the finger at Mac Jones.
That's good. That's good politically correct coaching.
Okay, every time somebody says something that you agree with, you're like, yes, they finally said it.
So let me ask a simple question to you.
And then somebody says something different, you go, oh, what else are they going to say?
Let me ask a simple question to you. Who do you think is not on a Patrick Mahomes level? Who do you think is a solid quarterback in the NFL right now?
A solid quarterback in the
Jalen
Hurts. Go ahead.
Who'd you say? I feel like Brock Purdy. Jalen Hurts are too high.
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson. All right, I'll use Russell. Do you think that Bill Belichick, Robert Kraft, and Billy O'Brien feel like if they had a Russell Wilson type of player, they would be much better than where they are right now?
Yeah.
And I think that's finally and that's the reason why I think Bill comes back and Robert's like, we might have made the wrong decision with this guy.
You're not comparing Bailey Zappe to Russell Wilson.
No, I'm not. But what I'm saying is
that's why it's the victory lap.
But to answer your question about Bill saying don't blame it all on Mac, there's a good chance that Bill O'Brien feels that way because he feels like he allowed Mac to dictate too much of the offense. And he said, blame me because I should have taken control earlier. And then he takes control with Bailey Zappe. Look, he throws 3 touchdowns in the first half against the number 5 defense.
You think they regret it?
What, the Mac pick?
No, those 3. Do you think they regret
not going to Bailey Zappe earlier?
Yeah. You think they're sitting there going...
After one win? Maybe they do.
And you think they're going, man...
They looked fired up after that win, Greg.
Yeah.
Maybe
How did they look? You completely ignore the second half.
What do you mean?
Like,
the second half, Bill was like
zero
fist
production.
pumping.